What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here back again, slightly hairier than last time, but still putting on the black shirt. And I'm here with
Gersh 1.
less hairier.
Equally as hairy, also wearing a black shirt, and that's just what the channel is. We should just change the channel to Black Shirt Guys who play Warhammer. Not really.
Yeah, we haven't played in, over a year now, for sure?
A very long time.
Yes. But we're here to talk about the game that we don't play, Warhammer 40K, in another For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And also remember that 40K, like even though you're not playing the tabletop, there's so many other aspects of the hobby that you can still enjoy. For us, it's the lore. But obviously, like reading the codex, playing the game, building, collecting, all that kind of stuff is part of the hobby.
Yeah, I mean, I'm currently deep into the second book of the Horse Heresy. They're fighting freaking Nurgle zombies on a swampy moon.
Swamp.
Yeah.
Also, speaking about swamps, if you guys want to support the channel, you could also send us a super thanks. A super thanks is something that YouTube gives you guys the ability to support your favorite content creators. So if you enjoy this type of content, if we entertain you as you drive to work or while you're painting your minis, shoot us up with a super thanks, which is what
Our Cat's Gay has done. His question, or his super thanks, is, never really played 40K before, but absolutely love listening to you guys talk about the lore. Here's my question, though. If humanity had been able to avert the fall of the Dark Age of technology and remained mostly intact, how would that have affected all the other factions in the galaxy?
That's a really good question, and it kind of is on point to what we were talking about as far as, not playing the game, but still enjoying the lore and enjoying the universe.
Yes, because, like, if the game has nothing to do with the freaking Dark Age, it's like way after that.
Yep.
So anyway, basically the Dark Age of technology and humanity and whatnot, I think humanity being a superpower, or at least having that type of technology from back then, would definitely impact most other races.
Yeah.
Humanity, I think, would still be xenophobic, and I think that would play to the detriment of the Tau. I don't think the Tau would be able to rise to that level of technology, because I think the Imperium would have expanded into the Damocles area of space and probably would have just wiped them out.
Yeah, and for all those that don't know, like the Dark Age of technology, it's kind of confusing because you think like, oh, it's a bad time, but no, the Dark Age of technology was actually a prosperous time where like technological advancements were very common within humanity. We were spreading out throughout the stars. I think that's when the squats kind of ventured away from Earth. Well, like everybody ventured away from Earth, and like Forge worlds were constructed. STCs were a thing, so like STCs were basically just like databases where they would teach human colonists how to build really important things based on the resources that planet had. So it was not a utopia, but like they had a better grasp of technology than the modern day Imperium does. If that unfortunately fell because of the Age of Strife. The Age of Strife came with it. There was a bunch of like Psychers coming to life and destroying the planet. There was the Men of Iron who attacked, so basically robots. If all that wouldn't have happened, I think humanity would have been... I think what you said with the Tau is true. The Tau would have been destroyed, but humanity would be like a split of like android type of society. Because the Men of Iron technically wouldn't have rebelled. Right. They would still be around, and the Men of Iron were robots.
Basically, whatever humanity could not do was pushed off to the Men of Iron. And that's pretty much everything.
Yeah.
They were incorporated into every facet of culture and civilization. You need agriculture done, boom. You need a toaster, boom. Yeah. Artificial intelligence toaster.
And I think what's interesting is like when you look at the different factions, so for example, the Eldar. The Eldar are known for being psychically gifted. So like the way when we think of psychically gifted races, we think of the Eldar, I think we would think of like technologically connected civilizations, and that's what that humanity would become. So it wouldn't be the Imperium, it would be the Dark Age humanity, but they would be really well integrated into technology further than the Tau. Yeah. So they would have like not even like just drones, but like, you know how like the Titans and the, what are they called? Imperial Knights. There's like a link.
Integration, yeah.
Yeah. So like I think that would be common throughout the entire Imperium, not just Knight houses, but like every single aspect of humanity, no servitors, just androids. So like you would be connected to some,
Basically a ghost in the shell.
yeah. So I think
So-
that's what would happen.
Yeah, that'd be pretty badass.
Yeah.
That'd be a very interesting thing to explore and see how the emperor, like, would the emperor even need to step in?
He might, because then it becomes a situation of like, because the emperor's main thing is like he wants humanity to rule themselves.
Right.
I wonder if in his flaw he would be like, this is not the pure humanity.
Because they're being integrated with robots and AI and technology.
Yeah, so I wonder if he would try to like create a rebellion so that, and then eventually create like some type of cybernetic rebellion,
Yeah.
but the opposite way.
Very, a lot of like theories that are being crafted that you can really have a blast with.
Yeah, but as far as like what humanity during the Dark Age would do to other civilizations, I think the Eldar would be disgusted as they are now with like how technologically advanced humanity would be. I don't think that they would make a big influence on much, though.
Yeah, I don't think so. The Tyranids, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
Because now they won't have as much biomass because the technology would be more rampant.
yeah.
Necrons might see this as like, I don't know.
They would get stolen. Like, they would
Yeah.
get robbed. Tomb Worlds would be like... Because even now, Noctilith, Blackstone, that's super, super, like, valuable. So in a universe where there was no Age of Strife, I feel like humanity would be like, we need to pillage the shit out of these
Yes.
Necron Tomb Worlds.
Yeah. And then it'd be like a hunt instead of for the heretic and the witch, the hunt for the psyker. And maybe use psychers as like batteries to like run the robotics and stuff like that.
But yeah, the theory crafting can get pretty intense.
Yeah, we could easily have a whole episode on just this one, but there are more super thanks. So let's get to the next question. This one is by Oscar. He says, thanks. My friend wants to know how many space marines would it take to conquer a bug world from Starship Troopers? No nukes, no bioweapons, just Astartes. Also, thanks for your videos. I am now on book 4 of the Horus Heresy audiobooks. Cool. That means you have more free time than I do. But yeah, so Space Marines against like the... Oh, what are they called from Starship Troopers?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what they're called from from that.
Starship Troopers.
There you go.
I don't think they're anywhere near as tough as Tyranids. Clearly, you had regular Marines with like... It looked like they had like regular like semi-automatic rifles. Or at least like the battle rifle from Halo. So I think even like a squadron of Marines can probably do it.
Yeah, in The Beast Arises, the first book, the Imperial Fists are fighting Chromes, I think they're called, which are basically bug people, and it is a squad. I don't remember if... No, yeah, it was just a squad. So yeah, squad, you're right.
Yeah. Because even in like the Heresy, you have the Emperor's Children and the Luna Wolves and the freaking Blood Angels getting almost wiped out by freaking spider-like bugs. But these things are like way faster, super hard, chitinous shells. Basically the opposite of the Starship Trooper bugs. So because of that, I feel like they don't stand a chance. Even if like they get overrun or anything, like I don't see any way these bugs that can be taken out by basically Imperial Guardsmen can win against Astartes.
Yeah. Good question, though.
Yeah, we have another super thanks over here.
Is it Spectre?
It is. You want to do it?
Yeah, he says, here's what my 3-year-old started doing. Every time he's crying, he ends up screaming, WAAAGH, and then stops instantly. It made me wonder, could a human devoted to Gork and Mork call a WAAAGH? Is there a way for WAAGHs for any other races? Yes and no. So, like, in Gorka Morka, I think they're called Diggas, but there is a faction of humans that have adopted the same mentality as the orcs, and they can use orc weapons, and they're very orcoid in nature.
Yeah.
I don't think they could lead their own WAAGHs, though.
Yeah, they're very goofy and more like comedic than anything. Yeah. At least in text-to-speech they were.
Yeah.
But even with other races, a wall is basically just like a rallying cry.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing as like the Tau saying for the greater good, Chaos saying, you know, blood for the blood god, or, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or the Emperor.
Yeah, your 3-year-old nephew could grow up to become some type of like Commissar Yarrick, where Commissar Yarrick is against the orcs, but his, what would it be called? His legend, his myth has become so popular amongst the greenskins on Armageddon and around the neighboring sectors, that like they will go out of their way to try to kill Commissar Yarrick, kind of creating a WAAAGH of sorts, where like the orcs really want to like kill this one individual because even God School can't kill him, kind of thing.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. What's your nephew's name?
Yarrick.
And then the last super thanks is by Ross, and he simply says, thanks. You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you. We had a lot of super thanks in this episode, so thank you guys so much. And we talked a little bit too much in the first one. We'll do one regular question. Again, if we didn't get to your question, just ask again. We do this 3 times a week. But yeah, do you have one?
Yeah, I got a pretty good one by Jay Day. His question is, do you guys think that the Necrons would be the most knowledgeable faction of the overall lore in the 40K universe, besides maybe the Eldar? But have the Necrons ever shared the history of the War in Heaven and other major events to the younger races? Are there any Astartes with this ancient knowledge of history?
I would say not necessarily, because I feel like Trazyn the Infinite.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah.
But I think he's the only one. The other Necron lords are too arrogant and too like full of themselves and their dynasties to say like we're knowledgeable about other races. They don't care about other races.
No.
It's only Trazyn the Infinite who has that weird quirk of
Yes.
like I want to collect, I want to know, I want like that kind of thing.
Right.
So I feel like the Eldar in general would be more knowledgeable because they have the paths.
Mm-hmm. Which the Eldar also have another event called the War in Heaven.
Yeah.
Which is
Their myth.
Yeah, their mythos to like pantheon of gods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so would you say that the Eldar are then the smartest in the galaxy?
I feel like that would be true. But more knowledgeable about like what happened, because they do have the library in the webway. What's it called?
The Black Library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if your whole thing is that you have a library, you're probably pretty book smart.
Yeah, 1,000 Suns might be up there.
Yeah.
With like the sorceress knowledge of Zeech, they probably know about the War in Heaven. I would even go as far to say it's probably like Malkador and the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. But I mean, it's not really that important. They're more focused on the now.
Yeah. But yeah. Good questions, guys. If you guys have more, please ask again. Thank you so much for listening and hanging out. Thank you for the super thanks, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah. As always, this has been the Sound Alchemist.
Gersh1.
And we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.